small stuff.
Right.
All right. So this is just the first night that we were going to try this. And so, this is just kind of meant to be an informal, just talk about travel. And so Evelyn, or first, let me start with Victor. Everybody knows Victor from Tuesday
Hello.
nights, Cruise Talk Tuesday. Victor is a partner, and he is absolutely, considering he's been in the military or in the National Guard, he's still trying to grow his business. We have another partner on here, which is Annie, but Annie's gonna, okay, everybody's muted, or Annie's muted right now. We'll open it up for some questions in a little bit, but so tonight I wanted to do something to incorporate. We do Cruise Talk on Tuesday, so I wanted to do something to incorporate, just regular travel, not just all things cruises. And so that's kind of the reason I thought, why don't we do Travel Talk Sundays? And with the Travel Talk Sunday, we can incorporate people, not necessarily travel agents, but people who have traveled. And that's where Evelyn was one of the first ones to pop up and say, hey, I'll do this. And I've known Evelyn for many years. She actually babysat my kids while they were growing up. So I've seen her son grow up. She's also done some work with my day job, and some volunteer work. So Victor, did you leave or are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. All right. So Victor cut out there a little bit, but anyway, so no, that's okay. But Victor, anything exciting before we get started? Anything happening in your life? I know you went to the beach today.
I did. It was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
I'm trying to move in the process of it anyways, so we will see how that goes.
So you're moving from where to where?
From Alabama to Florida.
He's moving from Alabama to Florida. He makes me sick. No, you don't really make me sick, but so he actually the video messaged through Facebook Messenger earlier, showing me the beach. I mean, I'm like you dogs. So anyway, to be able to live that close to the beach, and I know Annie over there, she lives close to the beach as well. So to be able just to live, we live in the mountains, so we don't have too many beaches around here, right, Evelyn?
No. Yeah, my best friend lives in Florida, and she sends me beach pictures all the time, and I'm like, okay now.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started as far as some questions for Evelyn. So Evelyn, like I said, that's Victor. Victor, this is Evelyn. So as y'all come in, everybody, we're going to have to figure out, you've got a chat box for anybody that's not super familiar with Zoom. You do have a chat box that hopefully we can get some people watching. If we get enough people in here, even if we don't, we're going to give away, if we get 2 people, we're going to give away some prizes, right, Victor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's what I need you to do. For anybody that does come in, I have one that I'm going to give away to start with. Victor's got one that he's going to give away. So let's start the first one. And well, you know what? We'll draw from the same pot. How's that?
That'll work.
Since we're a little bit confused, but I need everybody to type in, Victor, what word do you want them to type in?
On the go victoriously.
On the go victoriously. If you want to be entered into the drawing, type in on the go victoriously. I'm on the go travels. Victor's business is what, Victor?
Victorious Vacations.
Victorious Vacations. So on the go travels, Victorious Vacations. So we'll just combine it and type in on the go victoriously. So, all right, Evelyn, you ready for this? I know you've been getting a lot of practice with Zoom because you've been doing some tutoring and stuff.
Yes.
Right? So, and we live in the day of COVID right now, and COVID is affecting all of our lives, including travel. So, why not explore the world through Zoom, even though we might not be able necessarily to get out and go every place we want to go. Hey, Victor, do you see those names coming in?
Yes, ma'am. I only see Security Princess. Can you put your real name, please? And Annie Cushing.
Okay. All right. So if we can jot them down, or else, while Evelyn's talking, I'll try to keep a check on those as well so I can get them entered. So we got Annie. And then do we know the name on the other one?
It just says Security Princess. Susie.
I'm just going to type Princess. How's that? Oh, it's Susie.
Susie and then Princess. Susie
Okay.
just put 2.
Okay. So Evelyn, go ahead while I'm entering these and tell us. Now, you've actually traveled to, did you say 12 different countries?
Yes.
All right. What countries have you been? Now, were these as an adult or as a child or as both?
Some were as a teenager, and then some as an adult.
Okay.
But I started traveling at the age of 12.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So why don't you take us in order? Just give us the list of places, and then we'll go back and explore. But let's get the list of places that you have been.
Okay, so I've been to, when I was 12 years old, I went to Israel and Egypt. Then when I was 15, I went to, throughout Europe. I went to Italy, Austria, Germany, Switzerland, France, England. And then I've also been to, as an adult, to the Bahamas, Grand Cayman.
Wow.
So, and then next year, planning to add some more. I just got confirmation yesterday that because of COVID, I had to kind of move our cruise up, but we're gonna do a Disney Halloween cruise.
Yay! I love Halloween cruises.
I've done the Bahamas, and we also went to Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island.
That's
and
awesome.
Those I went during a Christmas cruise. So now we're going to go on a Halloween cruise next year, and those are going to be to Cozumel, Mexico, Jamaica, Grand Cayman. Where else? Oh gosh. And then Castaway again. So this one's twice as long. So I love traveling. My dad and I traveled, and then I traveled with my mom. Both my parents are Hungarian. So love of travel kind of in our blood. I actually just talked to my mom today through Messenger. Actually, she moved 2 years ago back to Europe, and she's now living in Hungary again. And so, traveling is just kind of the thing that we love to do. It was kind of instilled in, that to appreciate the world and all that's around. And so I'm trying to do the same thing with my son, and it's been the best thing ever. You don't have to be rich to travel. That's one thing my dad taught me, was that, you save up for it and you can do it. My dad asked me when I was a teenager, do you want us to buy a house now, or do you want to travel? So we traveled for a few years, and then we bought a house later. And that's what I'm doing now too, is we're going to travel. I'm traveling with my son for a few years, and then I'm going to save up and I'll buy a house later.
See, I've told Evelyn, Victor, she needs to come be a travel agent, because then she can, get her commissions and get her discounted, she can get these major perks and stuff. So, but actually you did use a travel agent to book your Disney cruise, and now to rebook this other one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And well, my best friend is actually in the same network. You're under the same company.
Yeah.
So, which ended up being really funny. So, so I use her, and because I love to support, my friends that do have their businesses. And so sometimes I think not doing certain routes are because I like to support my friends that are doing these different opportunities. So like I love to support, like I love how you do all these travel, different lives and being able to talk about it and the trivias and everything. It just makes it really fun. So I love to be supportive of my friends and this stuff.
So now I heard a lot of locations. So if you had to pick your favorite destination that you've been to so far, let's go. If you had to pick your favorite destination as a child first, and then as an adult. So what would your favorite destination as a child have been?
As a child, probably Egypt, because I got to go to the pyramids and go inside the Great and Giza Pyramid and see the Sphinx and see up close the museum where King Tut's at and everything. And I mean, now the museum is not even in the same location anymore. They have actually are in the process of changing the locations. So it's just really neat. I got to stand up in front of, right there in front of the boulder of the pyramid. And I mean, that thing was taller than my dad. Now my dad's 5'10". So, I mean, just one block on the pyramid that made up the pyramid was taller than my dad. Wow. So it was just kind of a neat experience. So I think that was probably my favorite because we saw so much and it was just how much we absorbed. But it was also humbling too, because, you saw the good parts, but when you're traveling, you can see good and bad, I mean, I've seen the homeless in locations, but then I've also seen other parts, and I like to see all of it because you learn more about the people. The funniest thing I saw though in Egypt was on our way to go to our tour for the pyramids, we passed a lady carrying a refrigerator on her head. It was like nothing, the women there could carry things on their heads, and she was just walking along carrying this huge refrigerator on her head. And I'm like,
you said a refrigerator. Correct?
A refrigerator. I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I thought I can't even carry a book on my head, much less anything else. And the lady's carrying a refrigerator on her head. And I'm just sitting there going, how is her neck not falling over? Like, how is she not falling over? She's just walking, arms to the side. So you see interesting things everywhere you go. I think it's never a dull moment. Now, as an adult, I think my favorite has been, oh gosh. Well, I love to go on the cruises. So the one kind of hooked me and I love that. So, I mean, my ultimate favorite place, of course, is Hungary because it has background and history for my family. But as an adult, I don't know. I just like to go to all the different islands. Like, I like to go anywhere that's warm and tropical.
Right. Well,
anywhere the cruise
Virginia
ship will
and Tennessee
take me.
is pretty warm, but it's not pretty tropical. So,
Right. To me, it's like anywhere the boat will take me, and takes me to a dock. So it just allows, I mean, it's so great to be able to get off. Like, I remember getting off the boat at the Bahamas and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. And so it's just, when you're traveling, being open-minded and just, not having an expectation like, ooh, I've got to see this or that, or just to enjoy every moment, and you can plan things, but don't over plan your day either. Allow for, like, if you pick one tour and have a tour of something, allow for time for
absolutely
to enjoy,
relax.
Yeah, because that's so important.
And that's good. That's a good tip for everybody. Because if you overplan any vacation, I think it seems more like work than a vacation. So Victor, what question you got for Evelyn?
So when you were doing land travel, how did your hotel situation work for you guys? Did y'all just stay in a hotel for a few days and then go to the next place, or how would that work?
Well, thankfully, where my dad can speak 13 different languages.
Wow.
And so when I traveled with my dad, it was just the two of us because he was raising me, and he would not just book, he wouldn't just always book like these expensive hotel, big places. He would book places that were
Local?
like in Israel, we stayed in a kibbutz. And we tried to stay around where the locals were at, places that you could see more and get to know the people more. You have to be careful about safety, but and then my dad rented a car and we drove all over the place. And we also took a train from Italy, and we went through Switzerland, and then went to Germany. It just went all over the place. And it was so wonderful to be able to ride on a passenger train and have a sleeping compartment and sleep on the train and wake up and you're that. So we used different modes of travel. When I was in Israel, I got to ride a camel. Now, it didn't take us very far, but, hey, I got to ride a camel.
Right.
So we picked different ways. My dad was always the one, I guess we didn't really use travel agent, but back, because it was so many years ago, on that kind of stuff, because my dad too knew a lot about the areas we were going to. But like I said, he always made sure we stayed somewhere safe and in an area that we could easily get to in walking distance. Because if you stay, you have to look at what you want to go see. And if you can, the greatest thing to do is to be able to stay somewhere where you can either go to it walking distance or take public transportation. So you're not spending all that extra money like on cabs and stuff like that. Now, sometimes, like if it was later in the evening, we might take a cab back if it was, we got tired or something. But walking, be prepared to walk.
That's like cruising. You gotta be prepared to walk on cruises big time. I mean, so you had, I think you actually told me that you had like a scary moment in one of your trips, correct?
Oh, I've had scary moments, I think, on every trip I've ever taken.
Yeah, but I mean, give me your number. What was your absolute scariest moment?
The scariest was probably when we crossed the Jordanian border.
Was that by accident?
It was by accident.
Okay.
We were driving, and my dad, it was late in the nighttime. I fell asleep, and I wake up, and we've crossed the Jordanian border, and we've got these soldiers surrounding us with Uzis, pointed at the window, going, what are you doing here? You need to turn around. What do you, and I'm like thinking, oh gosh,
Oh gosh.
So of course we turned around, went back and took a different route. So,
wow.
For a few seconds, we got to cross the Jordanian border at nighttime.
Hey, Victor, have you had any scary, I'm going to ask Victor on this one too. Because I know a lot of people are scared of travel sometimes. I mean, Evelyn, most people don't get guns pulled on them when they travel. But Victor, have you had?
So my mom has, where, the shop people were being a little bit too pushy, and they actually crowded her into a corner, and she was almost to the point of having an asthmatic attack.
Oh, wow.
Usually when they do that, you just skirt to the edge and just slowly work your way to the exit, and then just make your break for it. Don't be held hostage by the locals.
Yeah. Hey, well, and, I can kind of talk about that a little bit too. Hey, Melanie. I can kind of talk a little bit about that because this last cruise that we went on, it was while we were in Cozumel. we had went and done our excursion, and as we were coming back, I thought, I'm going to go into these little shops that were right outside the port. So my husband and my nephew, because I was having some back issues at the time, they said, we're going to let you out here, then we're going to drive all the way down and take the Jeeps back. So Andrew got out with me there, and it's a good thing because it was like a mob of people, and they were like, hey, come this way, come this way, come this way. And literally that normally, if you're in port, people, like if you're doing a cruise, they will, come up to you, or they'll be standing there and they'll say, hey, come here, or whatever. But usually you can say, no, thank you, and just keep walking, whatever. Don't make eye contact, however you want to do it. But I'm telling you, when I got out of that Jeep there in Cozumel, I was like, I told Andrew, I said, just forget it. We're going.
And Cozumel is one of the most pushiest ports, especially when you get right outside of it. Because
now I've heard the
come
Bahamas are too, right?
Yeah, they can be, and so can Jamaica. But I know in Cozumel, when we go right outside of the port, they're just like, hey, want some weed, want some drugs, want some cocaine?
Yeah.
That's what we got asked a lot.
Not trying to scare anybody with these stories. Definitely not trying to scare anybody, just trying to educate, that it does happen.
If you're going to go out to the locals and shop, you're going to be at your own risk. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, keep an eye on your safety. There's safety in numbers, and there's a reason why that's a saying.
Well, and most of the people in the different places that you go to also, if you ask them what their crime rate is, most of them will tell you, hey, we have a very low crime rate, but I'm not going to tell you we don't have any crime rate, because any place that has tourists, of course you're going to have a chance of pickpockets and things, people like, that will steal. Or so, I mean, when I ask that question, I don't want anybody to freak out and say, oh gosh, I'm never going to travel. I mean, because honestly, it is, we could go to the grocery store where we live and the same thing happen.
Exactly.
I mean, just be prepared for it. So always travel with somebody.
One of the safety things that you found too is that just, you pay attention to your surroundings always. And for women, like if you wear a purse, always wear it to the side or towards the front, have your hand on your purse.
Or wear a fanny pouch.
Yeah, for that. But you do have to be aware of your surroundings. But like we had no problems when we were at the Bahamas, and I was told, be very careful because of, the things that can happen. But having traveled so many different countries, the thing that I've learned is that you do need to check where you're going, what kind of thing, like what your plans are, where you're going to go, to what do you need to be aware of around you. But you can't be scared to travel and scared to worry about everything's going to happen. You have to just enjoy it and just have common sense. I guess some people don't, but have some common sense about it.
If you guys are going to buy local jewelry, do not accept what they're selling at face value, because more than likely it's going to be fake. So if they say, oh, this necklace is $300, you could probably get it for $10 because, it's fake. It's not real.
Well, I got to share a story. I got to share a story about this one. So on our first cruise, again, this was in Cozumel.
You all.
We had, Amy and Andrew went on that first cruise with us. So we went, and of course, thank God it was not expensive jewelry, but we were going into these little souvenir shops, and, the kids wanted to buy something. And this guy told Andrew, hey, come here. And anytime they say, come here, don't. Just don't. Because Andrew walks back there with them. And this guy's, what is your name? And Andrew told him, it's Andrew. And he said, oh, Andreas. And I said, Andrew. Before I know it, he had tied a bracelet with that name on it around Andrew's wrist, to the point he tied it like 3 times. I could not get the thing off. Andrew ended up walking out of there with a $12 bracelet tied on his arm that it took him forever to get that thing off. So just don't ever, you got to be really, really cautious. And I know, it's like I said, a lot of it's just common sense. But for the people that just came in, Evelyn, let's catch them up real quick. We've shared a little bit, but Evelyn has been to 12 different countries, started traveling when she was 12 years old, with her dad a lot. So, you know, we're just kind of getting a little bit of information. Her favorite place, I guess, as a child was Egypt. I think it would be neat to see the pyramids and the Sphinx and all of that. And she rode it. Did you ride a camel in Egypt? Was that where the camel was?
No,
at?
actually, I rode
Israel.
a camel in Israel.
Oh, Israel. So you've been, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So see, I wasn't paying attention. We will have a pop quiz at the end of this. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Also, the phrase of this video, make sure you type it in the chat to be entered into our drawing, is on the go victoriously.
Yep. Because Victor is victorious vacations, and I am on the go travels. So yeah, let's make sure you do type in your chat, the chat box down there, so that I can get you entered. We're going to give away at least 2 prizes. I think we're going to have enough maybe to give away 4. So we shall see, though. We'll tell you what those prizes are here in just a little bit. Victor, what other questions you got for Evelyn on this particular topic?
So what is your, I know we went over favorite destination, but did you do any excursions? And if so, what was your favorite excursion?
Well, I guess excursions would be, we went to different castles, because like in Europe, there are so many castles to go to. So we would go to all the castles, and see just, I mean, these castles have been around for so long. It's amazing. You know, we went to Versailles, we went to Chateau Chenonceau in France, both of those. We went to some castles in Austria, and my dad grew up with a castle just down the road that it finally, you know, it kind of, after a while, kind of got ruined. But then they just rebuilt it recently. And when he went back to visit, he saw them rebuilding it and trying to restore it back to the way it was. So one
of the coolest castles.
I got to go to also like to the opera in Hungary, and in also where else? Let me think, where was the other one? And we went to the opera in Austria and in Hungary. And so it's, you know, going on excursions is really great. It depends on, like, if you go through a travel agent and you're going and if you're flying in somewhere and you're doing that kind of travel where you're just going to different places, you have a little bit more leeway to go to certain things. But now if you're on like a cruise ship, you know, there's only those set excursions that you can kind of do that are on there. But like we did in the Bahamas, we went to, my son always wanted to go to Atlantis. Let me tell you, I never thought that was real. Atlantis, you know, ever since he was little, he told me, I want to go to Atlantis. I was like, okay. Well, then I realized when we get on there, there's an Atlantis hotel. There's an aquarium there.
Phenomenal property.
It was gorgeous.
Phenomenal.
I surprised him with that excursion of going to there. And it was, oh my God, I've never seen that child smile ear to ear like that before. He absolutely loved it. And like I said, you have to be prepared for walking no matter where you go. And even if you have, like, if you're physically disabled, which I have, you know, some issues with my knees, you can go slow. I mean, and even we had a tour group on that, and they are fine. You know, they'll go slower they'll adapt for that. They'll adapt for people with children. They'll adapt all that kind of stuff. So those excursions are great. Like, always definitely check it. And sometimes you can, when you get on the ship, once you know the schedule on a cruise ship, when you can pick, you know, okay, I know I'm going to be in this port this day, and our schedule, this will work out good for us. That's kind of what we did. And it was the best thing ever. I mean, I'm definitely can't wait to do some more excursions when we go again.
Well, I wanna step back a little bit now and turn to the Disney cruise that you went on. That was your first experience this past December, correct?
Yes.
With the Disney cruise. So you've talked about your son, and I know you personally, but for the people that don't know you, can you tell a little bit about your son?
Yes. So my son is autistic. He is high functioning. He has ADHD. And so staying active with him, but making sure that, he tends to sometimes wander, but just keeping him engaged on things is very important. We also both have a lot of food allergies. My son has celiac disease, which is anything with gluten in it. And so the cruise ship, the Disney is awesome about accommodating. They'll accommodate, like I said, for physical needs. If you need something physically, they even have handicap accessible rooms. Then they'll accommodate for your diet. I've never seen my child eat so much in my life. They would bring him a basket of gluten-free rolls. He absolutely loved it. You will have the same servers each night, even if you go at a different location, like you have rotation. Each night that, even on your rotation that you go on, you will have the same servers. So the servers learn what you like and what you can have. And so like they learned that he loved a gluten-free rolls, and they would bring him a basket of 10 rolls each time.
Wow.
Right. They learn your food.
Yes, they're really good. It's important to let your servers know that. It's important to let the cruise line know it ahead of time. But they will adapt. I mean, like I said, I've never seen my child eat that much. He learned. He loved prime rib. I told him, you better enjoy it while you can, because you're not eating like that when we get home. I can't afford it.
Well, Evelyn, you actually used a travel agent to book that cruise.
Yes.
So, I mean, and now, I'm going to also kind of point out that with COVID, with everything that's going on, you had another cruise that was scheduled for October of this year, correct?
No, it was for January.
January. Okay, so it was January.
Yes.
Yes. So, but you went ahead and you made the decision to go ahead and try to get that rescheduled. So, because everything is up in the air. Yes, people are still traveling, but right now with cruise lines, we know that all cruises are pretty much grounded, Yeah, they're on hold at least till October 31st, correct?
Yes.
Is that right, Victor? October 31st, right?
And some of them are even January.
Yeah, I think Princess is canceled all through the end of this year.
And Crystal Cruises has too. So.
Okay, so
and see, Disney said that there wouldn't be any kind of characters or anything like that, even if they do anything in the beginning of the new year. So the whole experience with Disney is having the characters. Like the one we were going to go on was a Star Wars, Star Wars at sea. We were supposed to have one day of Star Wars, and if they weren't going to have that, it wasn't really worth us paying that kind of money. So and it's important. That's why it's important to have a travel agent, because if you're just you have to be on the phone for hours, and sometimes you don't know what to ask or the right questions or the right things to say. And if you don't, you can end up paying, penalties and fees, or not being able to, or losing some of your money. And so luckily I was able to get it moved to September of next year. And we're going to do a Halloween cruise with Disney. So it's so important to do all that and know when your dates are of when you can change, you know, if there has to be any more changes, because, you know, you pay that money, you want to be able to enjoy what you're paying for. And it's so, I think it's worth every penny, whichever cruise you pick. And I thought, you know, if I'm going to invest that kind of money into my trip, you know, this just gives us more time to look forward to something, you know. But Disney is really good about accommodating on so many things. They do a lot of actually Make-A-Wish trips. When we were on our cruise, there was probably a good 10 kids on there, or 10 families that were from Make-A-Wish. And I mean, they treat you like you're kings and queens. I mean, everybody is just, they are so friendly. They are so accommodating. And they have theme nights. You know, Disney, every Disney ship has a pirate's night. So you can dress up like a pirate. And then, you know, there's also a dress up night and other things depending on your cruises. So it's,
Right.
we've only sailed on the Disney, and because they are, if you have a child that has autism, they are autism trained. They have all that. He even went for the teen club for an hour and a half one day and an hour another day. And for him to socially want to go with strangers and hang out was amazing. I mean, they ask you everything. They put things into the computer. And then you have phones from your room you can carry with you. So if there's an emergency, they can call you. And
That's
you
pretty
can
cool.
go around the ship and you just pick up that little phone that's from your room thing, and they can contact you. So they've come up with all these security features. Younger children, there's even more measures, you know, security features that they have. So like I said, between their accommodations for food and being trained, I'm the type that I really investigate and research into when it comes to travel. And they were, like I said, with the autism, they're trained and they were wonderful. And they don't treat your child like, oh, okay, well, they have this. It's just like anybody else. I mean, you get to meet the captain, you get to meet all the crew, you meet everybody. And it's
I want to meet Mickey and Minnie myself. I mean, I just need to see some Mickey Mouse.
I never thought, I didn't think I was going to get so
Goofy.
excited.
I live with Goofy. That's my husband.
Mickey grabbed my hand and kissed my hand. And I mean, I thought, you know, I feel like a kid again. You know?
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say as I was sitting here, because I've heard a lot of things. You know, everybody thinks you've got to have little kids to go on a Disney cruise.
Oh.
But I have heard just the opposite, that actually even adults, yeah, Annie, I know they're awesome. I've not got to meet them, but, you know, but to, you know, that even adults can find definite benefit in a Disney cruise. I have not even thought about Disney cruises because of that very specialized service. I think they tend to be just a little more, Victor, would you say, a little more pricey maybe?
They are.
It's because it's a name brand. You know, you have Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruises.
Right.
So it's more branded towards kids especially. So that's probably why it's a tad bit more pricey.
Yeah.
But it is, let me tell you, it's worth every
penny.
Yeah. It's worth it. It's, and they do have adult areas where it's adult only. Like you have lounges and nightclubs and a pool area, and it's adult only, restaurants and stuff. So, you know, couples can go and have their time and send their kids, you know, to go do the fun things, and they go.
I will say this. I know that I have sailed out of, when we were sailing out on the Carnival Sunshine out of Orlando a couple of years ago. You know, I love the sound of a ship horn, unless I'm off the boat and having to run the pier, which, you know, I don't run. But I love the sound of the ship horn. Well, Disney plays a very specific, their horn is not your typical horn. You know, what is it that it plays?
Oh gosh, now that because you asked me, I can't think of it.
It's a small world, isn't it?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I mean, so you hear all these other ships that have the traditional ship horn.
The foghorn.
Yeah, and then as you're getting ready for the Disney cruise to sail away, you know, they have It's a Small World playing, and that to me was just awesome, you know. But also their sail away party, which on Carnival, I love Carnival sail away party. You got the line dancing, you got, but they actually have the Disney characters come out and, you know, and participate in that. See, I'm a big cruise vlog person, so I might not have been on a Disney cruise. Yes, Victor and I both have completed the College of Disney Knowledge. Thank you so much. But you know, as far as being on the cruise, I've never been on one,
only
but
been
I
on
have
Carnival.
watched. Yes, same here. But I have definitely watched some of the cruise vlogs on the Disney cruise. So I know that during that sail away party, you got Mickey and Minnie and Goofy, and you know, I think it would be completely. I think it would take me back to my childhood. I really do.
It is. You feel so vibrant and happy. It's such a happy atmosphere when you're on that ship. And the crew, they make sure that they have such friendly crew that it's amazing. And let me tell you, I mean, that ship was so clean. Like, I mean, things were sparkling and they were still cleaning it. And I'm like, but it's sparkling. You could see your reflection. And I mean, even the outside of the boat was, you know, being cleaned at every port. So, I mean, I love it. You know, sometimes people think, okay, well, what if are things clean enough? Let me tell you, our room was so clean. And I mean, we didn't have to worry a bit. I mean, so that's one thing I can honestly say is that, you know, it is worth the extra money. They give you there's extra things that Disney does on their cruise ships. I know that other cruise ships don't do, but you are paying for like the characters and all this
and
extra
the rotating dining rooms and taking the staff with you. Security Princess actually popped up and said, I don't want to cheat on Carnival, but I really want to go on Disney. So I don't think it's cheating on them.
No.
I think it's just living a different experience.
I think it's that you have an open relationship and you are, you know, kind of playing the field a little bit.
Hey, when it comes to travel, you've just got to go wherever your heart desires and enjoy it. You just got to love it. I mean, life is short. You never know what it holds. And you know, I believe that you've got to take every moment, and traveling, you know, right now, realistically, like for us, with my son's special diet and all my food allergies, for us to travel by plane and overseas and to go another route is a little bit harder because trying to carry things. But the cruise ships let you bring on some special food if you need it. And you just have to bring it on your carry-on. Yeah. And they don't care how many things you bring.
Hey, Evelyn, Annie says you definitely should be a travel agent. So I will go ahead and tell you that. All right. So
I have one final question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
All right. So you know how Carnival does their own shows and Disney does their shows? Yes. What were the Disney shows like? Was there, you know, one for everybody where you could go to an adult or kids, or how would that work for you?
They have different show times throughout the day. I mean, it was so amazing. They have this schedule that you get every day, and they even have an app that you can go on there too and look and see. And we went, and at the time we were on there, they had a Beauty and the Beast show. Oh my gosh, they've actually even won for the show, awards. My son was like, oh, I'm going to sleep. I'm just, whatever. Let me tell you, that child was so involved.
It's at the wool part.
My son's trying to talk. So it was so lifelike, and so you get into it. And I mean, we were up on the balcony kind of back a little bit because of the time we showed up. And let me tell you, it was still, you were so enthralled. And it was they pick people that are so talented. And they have different types of shows. Like they had shows for, at the different theater things that they have for the kids that were geared more towards the children. And then some that were geared, towards more the adults. And it depends on the times. They have things going on all night long. And, of course, some of them are going to be, they'll have even like in their nightclubs and stuff, they'll have comedy, they'll have other, shows, all kinds of stuff. So there is a little bit of everything for everybody on there. I mean, it's impossible. Like we'd look at the everyday thing and I'd be like, okay, let's try to do this. Let me tell you, we only did about half of it.
Yeah, there's never enough hours in the day.
We would end up going back to the room and taking probably about an hour nap, power nap, and then taking a shower and just refreshing back up and then being ready to go again. And
just
that's
FYI, that happens on other that happens on Carnival too.
I do it with Carnival.
I'm
It
like,
happens on
yeah,
Carnival.
it's let's go to bed. I'm done.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think it's so important when you're traveling. Take that time, enjoy that nap.
Absolutely.
Take a moment to refresh because it's your vacation. Or refresh yourself and then go again and see what you can. And if you can't see it all, well, guess what? I guess you got to book another cruise.
That's right.
There's
there's never too many cruises, y'all. I'm telling you, there's really never too many cruises. So I have one final question, Evelyn.
Okay.
What is number one now on your bucket list? And I already know the answer to this, I believe. But everybody else doesn't, because I know traveling is in your blood. Traveling is something that you absolutely love to do. And I know that you dream big. So where is your number one place that you want to go?
It's actually kind of funny. It is actually to my son's bucket list too. Ever since he could learn how to write and spell, it's for both of us, it's been Australia.
Awesome.
That's
for my
number one,
son
too.
My son wants it because of the animals. He loves wild animals and stuff like that. He, for the whole surround, for the land and everything like that. For myself, I want to go to the Sydney Opera House. That is my dream. I've heard that it is the most amazing place to go to hear any opera. And I'm the type that, okay, I only like to hear an opera when I'm in an opera house. Mm-hmm. Outside, it's okay. I love the sound. It's beautiful. But when you're at the opera and you get dressed up and you are fancy gowns and you just take all that time and you go and you hear this beautiful music, and even in foreign language, you don't have to know the language and you can still understand everything. And so Australia is the bucket list. Now, I know I can't take a cruise there, but maybe one day.
Actually, you can take a cruise from there. Yes, you can.
Oh,
yeah, you absolutely can.
And very rarely, but sometimes you can also catch a transitional cruise there.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Also, for anybody that doesn't know, the Opera House, the Sydney Opera House, is not just known for its great operas and music, but it also is, I think, the number one most photographed building in the world. So if you're a photographer, or how amazing would it be and I'm a hobby photographer, I do family portraits and stuff. And some of the favorite pictures I did of my daughter was in Bonaventure Cemetery, of all places, in Savannah. So how cool would it be to take, portraits and stuff? I also would love to go and visit Australia. And I like Thomas, it would be for the animals. Steve tells me he doesn't want to go to Australia because everything in the world that'll kill you is there.
Well, you know what? Then, Valerie, you're just going to have to come on the cruise with us. We'll just all go, and then you can take pictures of us there.
Yeah,
because you took pictures of us how many years ago, and they were the best pictures ever.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, let's do some drawings. Victor, I think we've only got 4 people other than Annie, and Annie being a travel agent, I'm gonna omit Annie from this one. How about
Well,
that?
let's make sure we have everybody. So
All right.
we have Susie, we
I
have
got that.
Princess,
I got her.
we have iPhone 3.
I'm assuming that may be Melanie. Melanie,
No, we
are
have
you?
Melanie join as
oh,
well.
okay. So who is iPhone 3? Sheila. Is it Sheila?
No, we
Not
have
if it's
Sheila.
Sheila.
Just put them in iPhone 3 and they can get with us, you know.
Yeah, but I only see where'd Evelyn go?
Did she
Oh, there's Evelyn. Okay. So I need to know who we're missing. Okay. Melanie.
I see Mom
Melanie?
is watching. And this is your guys' last chance, right?
Yep.
On the go vacations to be entered into tonight's drawing.
I'm
I
here,
thought
Valerie.
it wasn't on the go vacations. It was on the go victoriously.
Victoriously. My bad.
So, honey, Annie, you're a travel agent. You can get these yourself. So I already hooked you up with one of these. So if it's all good, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. All right. So I've got Melanie, Princess, Sheila, and Susie. Who else? iPhone 3, but I only see 4 other people. Why am I not seeing nobody else? Wait, we got Barbara. Oh, your mom's in there.
She is. She's just not commenting. I think she's doing she has her hand raised. So
Oh, okay. So do we have any questions? If so, we can go ahead and unmute. I mean, they can unmute themselves, right, Victor?
yes, ma'am.
All right.
Actually,
If there's any questions, please unmute yourself, or if we don't have you in for the drawing, now is your chance.
I wanted to say iPhone 3 is Sharon.
Hey, Sharon, I didn't even recognize you. Sharon's actually going to be on next Sunday, y'all. Sharon, it will be on Zoom. Sharon is actually going to be doing the Belize. We're going to talk about Belize next week. So next Sunday at 7 o'clock. So Sharon is coming in. Thank you, Sharon.
Oh, I
Oh, you're
forgot.
welcome. I'm driving to work.
She jumped in. Awesome.
I wanted
Anybody
to
else?
mention. I wanted to mention that I don't know if Carnival or the other packages they do. Disney does picture packages.
Yeah, Carnival does that too. So I
Right.
think most of the cruise lines have the photo packages.
Those
Yes,
are
it
the
depends.
best pictures ever. It was
Yeah.
worth every penny. And
Yep,
and
Sharon
then make
has
sure
some
you
of those
get
on her page.
and make sure you get also the USB if you can, so that you can do your own if you want extra.
well,
But-
and if there's any pictures that you don't like, just please recycle those pictures for the cruise line.
Yeah.
People don't do that. They just leave them up and, you know.
Evelyn, we will definitely have to have you come back one Tuesday night so we can talk about, Disney. I'm a firm believer in having that lived experience. So, and so we'll definitely have you come back and do a Tuesday night cruise talk with us. Okay.
Sounds great.
Oh,
I've enjoyed
Evelyn,
that.
Evelyn, I actually am going to go ahead and let you know I'm going to do some drawings. We're going to give away some prizes from Victor also. But for you and Thomas, now this is, it is a discounted package. I'm going to give you a 3-night hotel stay. A voucher for that, so I will get that sent over to you. Okay.
Thank you.
So I think you'll have to pay some fees and taxes, but you have to book it within a month. But you can travel within 2 years. Okay, so you just have to look out and pick your dates. Okay, so
Sounds
that's
good.
kind of our way of saying thank you for coming on tonight. So.
Thank
Okay.
you. I
And you
enjoyed
should
it.
actually, from the travel trivia, you should have a gift getting there tomorrow anyway. So,
Okay.
all right, y'all, let's do some drawings. I think the first thing I'm actually going to draw for, or no, you know what, Victor, let's go ahead and draw for yours. What are you giving away?
All right. So for my first one, I'm actually going to give away a Las Vegas trip.
Whoop. Listen to that. It is, again, it is a discounted vacation getaway, okay? Listen to me, we're going on a cruise
Taxes
apparently.
and fees.
Taxes and fees will apply. Again, you need to book within a month, well, a month from the date on your voucher for that. And you have 2 years, I believe, to travel, correct, Victor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's go ahead and do a drawing so that this one will be coming to you courtesy of Victorious Vacations, which is Victor down there. Let me go in here and get my thing pulled up now. We've got Barbara, Melanie, Princess, Sheila, Susie, and Sharon. Annie, I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back in there, I guess. Since you gave me the thumbs up, I'm gonna add you back. But here we go. All right, we ready? And our winner is going to, thing keeps locking up. Okay, and our winner is, and I'm gonna see if you all can see this, and then I'm gonna say it to Melanie Goin.
And she commented Vegas, baby. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, Melanie, you just got the discounted
Yay!
vacation package. And let me jot that down here. You are, going to have the option to go to Vegas. How
Hey,
cool is
Tammy.
that?
So we're actually doing our drawings right now, and she just came in at the
That's
last second. So
Well, I mean, I'm getting ready to draw again, so it's up to you. I'm gonna let you call that one. Who is it?
Tammy, Tammy. We'll
You want me
just
to go
put
ahead
her
and
in.
enter? Why not? You know what? Worst case scenario, I'm feeling pretty generous tonight, actually.
Yeah, we can do an
I
extra
really
one.
am. Yeah, I'm really feeling pretty generous. All right, I'm gonna give another one that's gonna be the same one as the one I just told Evelyn about, which is the 3-night hotel stay. So let me get back out of here and choose a winner. And our winner on this one is Susie.
Yay!
So
Congratulations, Susie.
I am going to be, it will come from me. This one will say On the Go Travels. That's who it will be courtesy of. And that will be for a 3-night hotel stay. Okay. All right, Victor, what are you giving away next?
So actually it'll be an airfare and a hotel stay for 2 nights for 2 people.
Okay, hotel and airfare. Now remember, they are discounted travel or getaways, okay? Which means you will have to pay some fees, but they're going to be tremendously discounted.
And you have up to
rates.
30 days to pay these fees.
Yeah. So you just need to pick a day, and you've got up to 2 years to travel. Okay, so don't feel like you have to take your time and pick. So anyway, just giving you all the heads up front. These are some great deals on travel, y'all. All right, so let's choose this one. Princess. So that's Princess for you, Victor.
Alrighty. Hey, Princess, do you have Valerie or I added on the friends list on Facebook? Because we can get with you either way. I'm just not sure whose friend you are.
Just, yeah, see what she says in the chat. And that's you, Victor. Or, I mean, you can always send me the voucher and I can email it. Either way it goes.
Definitely.
All right,
I'm just
y'all,
trying to
let's
figure out.
Victor, do you have another one to give away or not? If not, I've got them.
Oh, definitely. I can give away a.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do mine next. Guys, this is for a 7-night hotel stay. Okay. So this is a 7-night hotel stay. Remember, and I'm saying this every time, this is a discounted travel package. Okay. So you can go in there. You'll get the voucher. We will email those to you. You go in and register, and it will tell you straight up straight out. Oh, she's on my Facebook page. Okay. Anyway, it'll tell you straight out. There are no time. This is not timeshare. You don't have to go sit through presentations, anything like that. Okay. But what this is it's incentives that as travel agents, we're able to do just for things like this. Okay. So, you know, hotels don't sell out. People know that.
They
So,
don't.
you know, and this is the way that the hotels will give tremendously discounted rates. And I'm a firm believer in being completely transparent with everybody. So you will have, you know, some fees, you have to pay your taxes and you have to pay some fees. But all right, so that is all I wanted to say. So I'm doing a 7-night getaway. And our winner on this one, hi, Victor.
Barbara Winters Todd.
Hey, Mom,
you
you
hear it?
need one.
So that is actually Victor's mom. So she won this one. So, and she actually, I think, is going to be our guest on the 23rd.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
So she's going to do some U.S. travel, I believe, which is going to be a big thing right now. All right, so that one was mine, Victor. What are you doing?
You know what? I'm going to do something exotic and give away a 4-night stay in Mexico.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
We're giving away Mexico. Everybody's getting a prize tonight. How's that? So.
Glad my son's in the other room, because if he heard about Mexico, he'd be going, Mom.
Well, 4-night in Mexico. Here is our winner on that one.
Tammy.
Tammy, you came in at the right time. I don't know which Tammy this is, so I need to know if you're on my friends list or on Victor's. So why don't I do another 7-day?
How many people are left, Valerie?
I got Sharon. Do you want a trip? I can hook you up, girl.
I could hook her up too.
She needs a vacation. Look at her. She needs a vacation. So here's the thing. Sheila, Victor, you're getting whatever Victor's got. Sharon, I'm sending you what I got. How's that? And I'll tell you what it is here in just a minute. All right,
Sounds
Victor.
good.
Sheila.
So I will give away a 7-night stay.
Victor's
Sheila.
doing 7-night to Sheila. Good job. And Sharon, wherever you went, I'm going to give you, I'm trying to think. Can you do a 7-night? Can you do a 3-night? I'm going to give you a 7-night. You can use it within 2 years, surely.
Definitely.
So, Sharon is a travel agent, by the way, y'all. So is Annie. So, you know,
Thank
they both.
you, Valerie.
You're welcome. And Annie, you already got a vacation from me, but you know what? I've got something to hook you up with later, okay? You already got a vacation. You got work to do, girl. So look at her. All right. So y'all, next week we will be doing more of
I
this.
sure do.
That's right. You sure do. I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, though, that we are going to plan on Zoom next week. Victor, you think?
Definitely.
Yeah. So we'll plan on, and I'll have a flyer put out that'll have all the information. And yes, we will be doing more giveaways. Don't forget, Tuesday night back on Facebook Live, we are doing Cruise Talk Tuesday. So, and it'll just be Victor and I, and we don't know exactly what topic we're doing yet. We'll get
Definitely.
there.
And
So.
if you guys need to find us on Facebook to get with us, we just need your emails. If you're on Valerie's friends list, you can go to Valerie, type in Victor Boswell, and you will find me.
Yep.
If you are actually on my friends list and you won from Valerie, you just type in Valerie Begley Arrington.
Yeah. Or you know what? If you message me and say, hey, Victor owes me something, I'll let him know too. So,
And vice versa.
I feel pretty generous with that. We'll make sure you all get your vouchers though. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I've enjoyed it tonight. Evelyn, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome
Victor,
anytime.
Got any closing thoughts?
Thank you,
Victor?
Evelyn.
I do.
Oh, you're welcome.
This presentation was presented by On The Go Travels and Victorious Vacations with the special guest.
Yeah,
So thank you so much
Evelyn.
for your time, Evelyn.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. And I love supporting friends in their businesses. So this is a good way.
All right. Thank you, Evelyn. And we'll have you
You're welcome.
definitely back on, soon. Sharon, get ready. Next week's your week, woman.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to Belize next week. So, and I've actually been there. Victor's been there. Sharon's probably been there more than both of us, though. So
I've been there about
we're
7
gonna-
times.
well, Sharon,
wow.
Sharon does some very special work, I think, in Belize, right,
Yeah,
Sharon?
she does.
Yes,
So-
I do.
Yep. So we're definitely going to have a good talk with her next week. So, all right, y'all, have a good night. Thank you all. And we will try to get the recorded version of this up, we hope, on Facebook.
I'll
We'll
try
see.
my best.
We will see. But, thank you for bearing with us with our technical difficulties tonight. So thanks, Victor. Bye, Evelyn. Hey, everybody. Have a
Bye,
good night.
y'all.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Night.